Marvel, DC. Two legendary universes bursting with iconic heroes and unforgettable stories. For decades they have ignited our imaginations. They've shown us good versus evil, courage against impossible odds. But what if these universes collided? What if these legendary heroes were forced to fight, not against villains or cosmic threats but against each other? That is where our story begins. In a reality-bending event of epic proportions, the stage is set for the ultimate showdown. The fate of two universes hangs in the balance. I don't think people understand the magnitude of what just happened. A blinding white light, a deafening roar. It was as if the very essence of the universe had been torn asunder. The sky itself seemed to scream in agony, a cacophony of sounds that reverberated through the very core of existence. The air was thick with an electric charge, a palpable tension that made every hair stand on end. It was a moment that would be etched into the annals of history, a moment when reality itself seemed to falter. The very fabric of reality warped and twisted. Colors bled into one another, shapes lost their definition, and the world as we knew it began to unravel. It was as if the laws of physics had been momentarily suspended, leaving behind a chaotic maelstrom of energy and matter. The ground beneath our feet felt unstable, as if it could give way at any moment, plunging us into an abyss of uncertainty. This was not just a visual distortion, it was a fundamental shift in the nature of existence. Between the gleaming skyscrapers of New York City, a tear appeared. It was a sight both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a gaping wound in the fabric of our world. The tear pulsated with an eerie light, casting long, flickering shadows across the cityscape. People stopped in their tracks, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. This was not something that could be explained by science or reason. It was a phenomenon that defied all logic. It wasn't a tear in space, but a tear in dimensions. Through this rift, glimpses of another world could be seen, a world both similar and alien to our own. Strange landscapes, unfamiliar skies, and beings that defied description. It was as if two realities were bleeding into one another, each struggling to assert its dominance. The tear was a gateway, a bridge between two worlds that were never meant to intersect. A portal to another universe. This was not just a simple doorway, it was a conduit of immense power, a channel through which the very essence of another reality flowed. The portal shimmered with a kaleidoscope of colors, each hue representing a different facet of the universe it connected to. It was a mesmerizing sight, but also one that filled the heart with dread. What lay beyond this portal? What forces had the power to create such a rift? From this dimensional rift, beings of incredible power emerged. They stepped through the portal with an air of authority, their very presence commanding attention. These were not ordinary individuals, they were entities of immense strength and capability. Their eyes glowed with an otherworldly light and their movements were fluid and precise. It was clear that they were on a mission, driven by a purpose that transcended our understanding. They were not invaders, not in the traditional sense. They did not come with weapons drawn or with the intent to conquer. Instead, they carried themselves with a sense of duty and responsibility. They were here for a reason, one that was not immediately clear but was undoubtedly significant. Their arrival was both a warning and a promise, a harbinger of events that would reshape the very fabric of our reality. They were heroes, but heroes from a different reality. Their attire, their abilities, even their very essence was different from what we were accustomed to. They hailed from a universe where the rules were different, where the stakes were higher, and where the concept of heroism took on a new meaning. They were here to protect, to defend, but also to challenge our understanding of what it meant to be a hero. They were the champions of the DC universe, and they had arrived in the Marvel universe with a purpose, one that was as noble as it was perilous. Their own reality was in jeopardy, teetering on the brink of destruction. They had come to seek aid, to find allies in a universe that was not their own, but their mission was fraught with danger, for the balance of power was delicate, and their presence could tip the scales in unforeseen ways, to save their own reality, even if it meant destroying another. This was the ultimate dilemma, a choice that no hero should ever have to make. They were caught between two worlds, each with its own set of challenges and threats. Their actions would have consequences, rippling through the fabric of both universes. It was a test of their resolve, their morality, and their very identity. The fate of two realities hung in the balance, and the outcome was anything but certain. Before we continue, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updated videos. Thank you. It's a big help for small-time content creators. Thank you. The Avengers, alerted to the dimensional anomaly, assembled. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye. Earth's mightiest heroes ready to face any threat. But nothing could have prepared them for what they saw stepping through that rift. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern, the Justice League. The sight of these legendary heroes was awe-inspiring, but the expressions on their faces, the grim determination in their eyes, spoke of a coming storm. This universe, it's infected. The infection is spreading faster than we anticipated, corrupting everything it touches. It's not just a disease, it's a malevolent force, twisting reality itself. We need to act now, or there won't be anything left to save. Superman's voice boomed, carrying a gravitas that silenced the bustling city below. His eyes, usually filled with hope, now bore the weight of the universe's impending doom. "We must unite," he declared, his voice echoing through the streets. "Our differences must be set aside. The fate of countless lives depends on our cooperation." An anomaly that threatens to unravel the very fabric of existence. It's not just a simple tear in the space-time continuum, it's a gaping wound that bleeds chaos into our reality. The stars themselves seem to shudder in its presence, and the very laws of physics are being rewritten. Captain America stepped forward, his chin held high, his shield gleamed under the dim light, a symbol of resilience and hope. "We've faced impossible odds before," he said, his voice steady and unwavering. "But this time it's different. This time the stakes are higher than ever."
We know about threats. We deal with them. But this is something else entirely. It's not just about saving lives, it's about preserving the very essence of our universe. We can't afford to fail. We won't fail.
This is beyond your comprehension. We're here to cauterize the wound, even if it means making the ultimate sacrifice. We can't let emotions cloud our judgment. The infection must be stopped at all costs, even if it means destroying entire worlds to save the multiverse.
She didn't finish her sentence. The Flash, a blur of red, shot forward, striking Thor with a thunderclap of his own. The air crackled with energy as the two titans clashed, their powers colliding in a spectacular display of light and sound. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and the sky darkened as if in response to their fury. The first blow had been struck, and the battle for the fate of two universes began. Heroes from different worlds, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, now stood united against a common enemy. The air was thick with tension, and every punch, every blast of energy, carried the weight of countless lives. This was more than a battle. It was a war for existence itself.
The Avengers, masters of teamwork and tactical combat, found themselves on the defensive. Their usual strategies, honed through countless battles, seemed to falter against the raw power and relentless aggression of their opponents. Each Avenger, from Iron Man to Black Widow, was pushed to their limits, their coordinated efforts barely holding the line. The battlefield was a chaotic symphony of clashing ideologies and fighting styles, with the Avengers' disciplined approach clashing against the Justice League's raw power.
The Justice League, each member a powerhouse in their own right, fought with a desperate fury. Superman's punches sent shockwaves through the air, while Wonder Woman's lasso crackled with divine energy. Batman, ever the strategist, directed his teammates with precision, his mind a whirlwind of tactics and counter-tactics. The Flash moved like a blur, his speed creating after-images that confused and disoriented their foes. Aquaman's trident gleamed under the harsh light of battle, a symbol of his unyielding resolve. Together, they were a force of nature, each hero's unique abilities complementing the others in a seamless dance of destruction.
Iron Man's repulsor rays met Superman's heat vision in a blinding flash. The air sizzled with energy as the two beams collided, creating a shockwave that rippled through the battlefield. Tony Stark, encased in his high-tech armor, gritted his teeth as he poured more power into his repulsors, trying to match the Man of Steel's incredible strength. The ground beneath them cracked and splintered, unable to withstand the sheer force of their clash. It was a battle of technology versus raw power, and neither side was willing to give an inch.
Captain America's vibranium shield, usually deflecting any attack, groaned under the force of Wonder Woman's bracers. The Amazonian warrior's strength was legendary, and each blow she landed sent shockwaves through Steve Rogers' arm. He could feel the strain in his muscles, the relentless pressure threatening to overwhelm him. But Cap was nothing if not resilient. With a determined grunt, he pushed back, using every ounce of his training and experience to hold his ground. The clash of their weapons echoed across the battlefield, a testament to the unyielding spirit of both warriors.
"They're fast," Hawkeye grunted, firing arrow after arrow only to see them deflected by the Flash's impossible speed. Clint Barton, the master archer, had faced many foes in his time, but none quite like this. The Flash moved with a speed that defied comprehension, his movements a blur of red and gold. Each arrow Hawkeye loosed was effortlessly batted aside, leaving him frustrated and struggling to find an opening. But Clint was nothing if not resourceful. He began to adjust his aim, anticipating the Flash's movements, looking for that one perfect shot that could turn the tide.
But we're smarter. Cap, what's the plan? The Avengers knew that brute force alone wouldn't win this battle. They needed a strategy, a way to outthink their opponents. Captain America, ever the leader, quickly assessed the situation. His mind raced as he considered their options, weighing the strengths and weaknesses of both teams. He knew that their only chance was to exploit the Justice League's individualistic tendencies, to find a way to disrupt their cohesion and turn their strengths into weaknesses. It was a tall order, but if anyone could do it, it was Cap.
Captain America, locked in a brutal struggle with Wonder Woman, could only shake his head. The Amazonian princess was a formidable opponent, her strength and skill unmatched. Steve Rogers knew that he couldn't defeat her in a straight fight, but he didn't need to. All he had to do was buy time to keep her occupied long enough for his teammates to execute their plan. With a grim determination, he redoubled his efforts, blocking and parrying with all his might. Every second he held her off was a second closer to victory.
We're not fighting a battle, Clint. We're fighting for time. The Avengers understood that their true objective wasn't to win the fight outright, but to hold the line long enough for their plan to come to fruition. Every moment they delayed the Justice League was a moment closer to success. The battlefield was a maelstrom of clashing heroes, each side giving their all in a desperate bid for victory. But the Avengers had one advantage: their unbreakable bond and unwavering trust in each other. It was this unity that would see them through no matter the odds.
Thor, his face a mask of thunderous rage, slammed Mjolnir into Superman's chest, the impact echoing like a sonic boom.
But the Man of Steel didn't even flinch. You fight with the fury of a god, Thor, but I do not fear gods. On another rooftop, Hulk roared, a monstrous symphony of rage and fury as he charged Green Lantern. But Lantern, his ring glowing with emerald energy, encased the Hulk in a cage of pure willpower. Hulk smash? Hulk doesn't even know what he's smashing. The battle raged, a chaotic symphony of destruction. But amidst the chaos, something shifted. Batman, always the strategist, saw an opportunity. He had been studying the Avengers, analyzing their fighting patterns, their strengths, and their weaknesses, and he knew that their greatest strength, their unwavering unity, could be turned against them.
We need to divide them. Superman, Wonder Woman, focus on Thor and Hulk. Keep them occupied. The rest of you with me.
The Justice League, following Batman's strategic brilliance, managed to separate the Avengers. Captain America, Iron Man, and Hawkeye found themselves facing Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Aquaman.
You're outnumbered, Avengers. Surrender now and we can end this without further bloodshed.
We don't surrender. He knew the odds were against them, but surrender was not an option, not when the fate of their universe hung in the balance. As the heroes clashed once more, the very air crackled with energy. The fate of two universes, two realities hung precariously in the balance. The Avengers, battered but not broken, fought with the courage and determination that had made them legends. But the Justice League, fueled by desperation and the belief that they were fighting for the greater good, seemed unstoppable. Who would prevail? Who would decide the fate of these two intertwined universes? The answer, for now, remains shrouded in the chaos of battle. Before we continue, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updated videos. Thank you. It's a big help for small-time content creators. Thank you.